Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
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 How's everybody this morning?
Oh, well.
Ready for a workout?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Good to see everybody. Make sure you have your water ready today. If you don't have water, be sure you go get it before we get started.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sandra. Good to see you.
Good. It's good to be seen.
You missed even one day.
I think so, yes.
Oh, I didn't think you had missed any. You're one of my regulars.
No, I've been
Always.
here every day.
Who's that?
Good morning, Stacy.
Hey, Wilda, you're another one every day.
Yes,
Good job.
because I love your classes.
Oh, thank you.
Morning, Stacy.
Good morning. I know a lot of you are here every day.
I know it's better late than never.
You're an easy way to get the day started, Stacy.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm so glad you think that way.
If
I
you
know.
were harder, I'd say, oh, I'm not up for it, but you're just the right speed.
Oh, good. Good.
I felt so good after I got through exercising yesterday morning. I went outside and started pulling weeds in the yard.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So if you're sore today, it's not from Stacy, it's from pulling those weeds.
That's right.
Could be. Could be. We're up to 37 people in this morning. People getting ready. I love seeing your faces. So wonderful to see you all moving.
This is Emil. He's my substitute ball and friend.
Oh, fantastic.
Stacy.
Very cute.
He's been with me for 35 years.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful. We're up to 40 people in the room already, ready to work out. I'm going to go ahead and share my opening slides. So I know many of you have heard the opening slides. And so if you need this time to step away to get your water or clear your space a little bit, take this time right now to do that while I share my screen. All right, welcome to Morning Fitness Combo Training. Combo training is just like it sounds. It's a combination of a little bit of everything. How wonderful it is to start your day strong and active. My name is Stacy and I'm your guide this morning for this fitness class. I have a master's degree in counseling psychology, which I have used for many years in the school system as a school counselor in Maryland until I retired, and now I have a very small private practice in mental health counseling. I've also been teaching fitness since the mid-1980s, and I love connecting with other adults who are interested in improving their health and fitness and just their general overall wellness. Get Set Up is an educational and training platform that helps us learn useful skills from people just like yourself so that we can all do wonderful things and hopefully we can do them together. We do learn from one another, so ideally we can see you and your cameras are on and there's no judgment here. We're not looking at your pajamas or your room. So just join us. I love nothing more than when I'm across the room to be able to look out at you guys and see you moving. Sometimes this is all I see, an arm or the top of your head. And you know what? That's fine, because it's motivating for me to know that you're not just sitting there watching me, but that you're really actually participating. Remember that you can also request a recording after class. Just email help@getsetup.io. And if you're joining us this morning by the live stream on our website, we welcome you. We're so glad you're here, glad you found us. But remember, the best way to participate is to actually join us and register for a class. That way you have the advantage of receiving the email that's sent out after class, and the email gives you some key takeaways from class, as well as the opportunity to provide us with some feedback. Get Set Up is not paid to promote any specific products or services. Be sure to check with your doctor. It's always recommended to check with your doctor prior to starting any new exercise program, especially if you have health conditions, if you take any medications, or if you're recovering from an accident or surgery or another illness. If your doctor has given you any recommendations or restrictions regarding exercise intensity or range of motion, be sure you're following your doctor's recommendations and not anything that I'm demonstrating or talking about in class. So today for our combo training, you will be doing a little bit of cardio, and then intermittently, we will also be using light weights. So one of the things you can do in each round as we get more challenging is to use slightly heavier weights if they are accessible to you. So I have 2 pounds and 3 pounds and 5 pounds available, and I'm probably not going to use all of those. But it's just a thought. It's a way to challenge yourself if you want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and spotlight myself. Joe is our TA who is with us this morning, and he is available in the live chat if you need help with your audio or video. And Joe will set the recording for us to make sure that we are recording the session. So you don't need to remind us. That's going to happen. And here's the spotlight. I'm getting ready to go. Great for you all who jumped out of bed and you're ready to go with us today. So let's go ahead and get started. I have my water right here to the side. And we're going to just start out with our march. So here's what we do in combo training. I will introduce some exercises and I'll give you a time. We're going to do them for 60 seconds and then move on to the next exercise. I'm going to demonstrate 4 things. We'll do them for 60 seconds each, and then we'll do another round, round 2. And round 2, we will challenge you a little bit more, make the exercises a little bit more difficult. And then we'll do a 3rd round with those 4 exercises, and we'll even up the ante just a bit more with more challenge. So the first round, round 1, is our warm-up round. And we're going to start our warm-up round and do 4 different things, like I said, 60 seconds each. And we won't be using any weights. So very first exercise is going to be our marching in place, but we're going to take our feet apart for 4 steps. And together for 4 steps. Looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4 together for 4. And apart. 1, 2, 3, 4 together. We're doing this for 60 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, and together. Find your own pace. And we're keeping our arms low. Remember that in a warm-up, we want to begin with keeping our arms below the waist level, so we don't bring our heart rate up too fast. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and together for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, together. Apart and together. 20 more seconds. Right here, together. Apart and together. One of the nice things I like to do with this combo class too, since we're doing a series of exercises and repeating them, is challenge your brain to remember what comes next, right? Apart and together. 5 more seconds. Last time, right here. Our next exercise is step touch. Remember, this is just the warm-up, so we're keeping it soft and easy. Step touch is a nice basic move. Just keep your arms loose by your side. As we increase the intensity through each round, we'll be lifting our arms and adding something a little bit more difficult. But for now, find a pace that works for you. And we have 30 more seconds. And remember, this is called step touch. So we've done march apart together, and step touch is our second exercise. 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heel digs is the next exercise. That's just right here, heels in front. Can you see my feet? I'm trying to get far enough back. I'm just pressing my heel out in front of me, lifting my toes up toward the ceiling. I have to bend my standing leg ever so slightly as I reach my foot out in front. Dig that heel. Here it is right here, heel digs. And we have, looks like 45 more seconds. Remember, we're doing 1 minute of each exercise. So now we've done marching apart together, step touch, and we're doing heel digs. Put it in your brain. Fifteen more seconds. I feel like that was a long minute. Maybe I talked over some of the counting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here's the next exercise for our warm-up series. It's knees in 3. So we're just going to do 1, 2, 3, and hold. 1, 2, 3, and hold. It's 3 steps with a knee lift, or 3 little knee lifts, and hold the third. 1, 2, 3, and hold. 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 If you're uncomfortable with balance on this exercise, don't lift the leg. Just keep it like a toe touch here in front, so one foot doesn't leave the floor, because this is a bit of a balance challenge. You might also have a chair or a counter nearby that you can hold on to. 10 more seconds. And now that's the 4th exercise in the warm-up round, and we're going to repeat it from the top. So you have to think now, what was that first exercise? I hope you remember. It's marching apart together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, together. Now we want to up the ante a little bit in round 2. So we might go a little bit faster. We might have our legs apart a little bit further. We might bend our knees a little bit deeper. And we're going to take our arms right here to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, together. 30 seconds more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and in for 4. And now you're going to start thinking, what's that second exercise that we're doing? The second exercise is step touch. And we'll be doing that in just 10 more seconds. And right here. And out. 2, 3, 4, and in. Let's go to step touch right here. And we're going to lift our arms to shoulder height. Step touch, just move your arms side to side. Now you can also make your step touch bigger, take up more of the room, do a little bit of a dip as you go side, I couldn't think of the word, as you go side to side, or keep it small wherever you are with your fitness level. 30 more seconds. Step touch, arms are at shoulder height, and you're starting to think about the fourth exercise, or actually the third exercise, what comes next. And your third exercise is heel digs. And we're gonna start that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right here, heel in front. And I want you to reach forward. Reach forward. I'm doing the opposite arm as leg, reaching forward. That's for balance. It's very helpful when you work in opposition. It's kind of like the way you walk. When you walk normally, as your right foot goes forward, your left arm goes forward. It's what your body normally does that, naturally does that without you really thinking about it. So I like to bring that into exercise so it's not too challenging. We're not doing a dance step, but just taking normal, natural body movements and enlarging them. So here we are, 15 more seconds of heel digs. Our last exercise, knees in 3 and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, and lift. I want your arms to cross in front of your chest. This is a defensive position. It's from kickboxing, right here. Knees in 3. 1, 2, 3, right here. 1, 2, 3. Remember, you don't have to lift that knee. If this is a balance challenge for you and you're not comfortable with it this morning, hold on to something or keep that foot on the floor with just a toe tap. And this is our fourth exercise. It's the second round in our warm-up series. Woo! 10 more seconds. And now we're going to start from the top with our marching apart together. And we're going to use even bigger arms. So let's do apart together. So right here, arms up, nice and big. And together, keep them by your side. So right here for 4 steps and in. Find your own pace. And in. 30 more seconds. And in. Together. Out. And in. Together. Woo! 20 more seconds. Getting hot in my room. And in. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step touch. Nice and big now. Have those arms kind of making a big circle as I'm going side to side. Remember, you can make this a really big movement, taking up a lot of space. If that's where you are today, or just keep it kind of small. And you don't have to do the big arms either. You can keep them right here. Remember, this is your workout. You're not in any kind of competition with anybody. So you figure out where you need to be. Listen to your body. 20 more seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's just march right here. I'm going to give you just a couple reminders. First of all, drink some water. Second of all, make sure that no matter what exercise we're doing, that you have your diaphragm lifted. I need a little air in here. That your diaphragm is lifted, your shoulders are pressed back and down. You feel a little bit of space here between your earlobes and the top of your shoulder. And you're working out at a comfortable pace for yourself. Take a break if you need to. Use the modifiers. The nice thing about this combo class is that each round gets more challenging, but you don't have to go there. You can just repeat round one at the level that round one is introduced. You can just keep it right there for all 3 rounds. All right, here we go now with our second series. And our first exercise is hamstring curls, which is right here from side to side. We're using the hamstring. That's the muscle in the back of your thigh between your knee and your buttocks. And what that muscle does is it allows you to bring your lower leg up behind you, bending your knee. And you can squeeze that muscle a little bit as you lift, right? That helps you to feel it. You give it just a little bit of a squeeze. Relax your feet as you lift them. And remember, it doesn't have to be a high lift. If you want to just clear your feet from the floor, you can do that. All right, so take this at your own pace. And here it is with arms that are low right here, 60 seconds. Keep that diaphragm lifted. Make sure that your torso is upright, okay? So your back is straight. You're looking straight ahead. 30 more seconds. Our next exercise is going to use a low weight, a light weight. So be thinking about that, and I hope your weights are handy. 15 more seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and grab your lighter set of weights. I'm going to go with 2 pounds. And our first exercise with weights is biceps curls. We're going to fix our elbows tight by our waist and curl the weights starting from the hips. Bring them right up to your shoulders. So you're right here, down by your hips, palms facing upward, and lift to your shoulders. Remember to take your own speed with this, and slower is always better because you can focus and really concentrate on the weights and the muscle that you're using. And remember to hold them lightly so you're not squeezing your hands. You can just hold them tightly enough so that you don't drop them, but you don't need to squeeze, okay? Right here. 30 more seconds. Keep those elbows tight, torso lifted, back is straight. And keep your movement smooth and in control. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Weights down. Next exercise is step side squats or don't squat. Okay, so this is step side squat or not, depending on your knees. So we're just going to step to the side and bring your feet back together. Now, if you're able to work your knees a little bit, take a very slight bend. Keep your feet facing forward and your knees facing forward. Basically, knees over the toes. Keep this a very small bend, at least for this first round, even if you're going to challenge yourself and go deeper. The first one is gentle. I had questions about how to work the knees. This is one way, but always start with a small, slow movement. Right here, right here. 30 more seconds. Torso lifted, diaphragm is up, abs are tight, back is straight, shoulders are pressed down and back, knees over the toes, hips are square. 15 more seconds. I think my clock is slow. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think I did these out of order. Step front lunges is our next exercise. So we're going to step forward and just give a very slight bend to the knee. And as you do that, your back heel is going to come up off the floor ever so slightly. And remember to step wide as you step. I know you're stepping forward, but step a little bit on the diagonal so that your feet are actually a hip width apart. Don't line them up like this, one in front of the other, like you're on a balance beam, because it challenges your balance too much. And you benefit from the exercise just as much with a wider stance. And you can keep this a small step forward and a small knee bend. But bring up that back heel ever so slightly. I'm hitting the wall here. Ever so slightly, and try to bend both knees the same. So keep your weight centered as you do this, right here. 20 more seconds. And this is the fourth exercise in round 2. Exercise round 2. It's round 1 of exercise round 2. And then start thinking about what comes next, right? I think it's hamstring curls, right? That's how we started out. So the 4 exercises in this series were hamstring curls, biceps curls, step side squat, and step front lunges. And we will repeat that series twice more. All right, so let's go into our hamstring curls right here. And we're gonna pull back now with our arms at shoulder height. Right here, shoulder height. And again, on this second round, we're challenging ourselves a little bit more. So if you wanna take up more space in your room with a wider stance, or add this little bit of a knee bend as you go side to side, if you're comfortable with that, you can challenge yourself and try that out. And find your own pace. Ten more seconds. And then we're going to pick up our weights, moving into biceps curls. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab your weights. I'm going from, I have 3 pounds now. I started with 2 pounds on the first round. And for this round, I'm going to go with 3. So remember your positioning. Elbows tight. Right here. Chest is lifted, starting with the weights at your hips. And lift to the shoulders and return. Palms face the ceiling. 60 seconds. And lift. Be sure your diaphragm is lifted and your back is straight. Keep your shoulders relaxed. You want to make sure that you are only working the biceps here. Give that muscle a little bit of a squeeze as you lift. When you reach the peak of the motion, squeeze a little bit and then release. 15 more seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next exercise is step side squat or not. So remember, you can take it right here and don't bend your knees if that's your comfort level, or take a bit of a bend. And if you're challenging yourself and you're able to go deeper or take a bigger step to the side, just remember to keep your weight centered right here. It's hard to keep your weight centered because you're stepping off balance. So you do have to take it slow enough to focus on centering your weight between those two legs. Remember, toes are forward, knees are forward. Chest is lifted, back is straight, you're breathing. Normal, natural rate and rhythm, whatever feels good to you with that breath. Listen to your body. Do you need to take a break? Do you need to get a drink? Do you need to modify? Take it at your own rate. And this is the third exercise in this series. And we're on round 2. So it's a moderate challenge. Round 3 will be a more challenging round. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step front lunges. Remember to step on the diagonal and keep your weight centered right here. You can use your arms for balance if you need a bit more assist. Hold them out to the side. Go deeper if you're ready, if your knees can handle that. Otherwise, keep this at just a very small bend, or just step forward and back. Right here. Step forward. 15 more seconds. And then we start from the beginning. And remember, what is that first exercise? Hamstring curls. One of my very favorites. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go right into it with arms up and pulling down to the side. It looks like this. So remember, round 3 is our most challenging round. Take this at your own pace. You want to take it a little faster? Or keep it down here at a more moderate pace. Make sure your diaphragm is lifted and you're breathing. 30 more seconds. And 10, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab your weights. If you're challenging yourself now, you might want to get heavier weights if they're available to you. I'm going to grab my 5s. And we're doing biceps curls, remember? So we're going to do 60 seconds, and you're going to do it at your own pace. Starting, elbows tight at the waist, weights by your hips, and let's lift and return. 30 seconds right here. Thirty seconds. Take a break if you need to. "15 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Weights down. Step side squat. Remember now, this is the most challenging. So here's what we're going to do. Regardless of how big your step to the side is or how deep your knee bend is, let's add some bigger arms here, like this, all the way up. Take it at your own pace, and you don't have to do this. Remember, you can keep it here, or here, or here. But what's important is that you're maintaining the correct position and posture. Toes front, knees over the toes, torso facing forward, hips are square and centered. Do your best to center your weight on those squats. Step as wide as you can or as is comfortable for you, or keep it smaller. 30 more seconds. "15 more seconds. Is this the slowest minute ever? I think it is. I think my clock isn't working. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step front lunges. Right here. Right and left. We're alternating feet if I didn't say that before. I hope you saw that. Step forward. Remember, your heel comes up on that forward step. And let's do some big arms here, lifting straight up as you go forward. Arms straight up overhead. Right here. Remember that this is a wide step. You're stepping out on the diagonal, but still keep your toes forward and your knees forward. Center your weight as you do just a little bit of a knee bend, or deeper if you are comfortable with that. 30 more seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we are coming up on our third round. And our third round is going to be with weights. So let's grab a small weight. I'm going to have a little bit of water before we start. This is four exercises with a light weight. We're going to start with pull-ups. So we start with our weights butted end to end, and they're down here in front of your hips. And you're going to just pull them up under your chin with your elbows lifted and back down. Right here and down. Now, you can modify this by not going through the full range of motion. Maybe you're lifting chest high today. Whatever works for you. You see that this exercise works the shoulders as well as the chest. Keep those elbows high right here and return. Man, you guys look good. I see some of you lifting. I see great elbows high. I see weights under the chin. You're doing great. 30 more seconds. $15 more seconds. Keep your neck relaxed. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The next exercise is alternating overhead presses. So we start with the weights by our shoulders, and we're going to just lift one and then the other, pressing overhead. Now, what's key with this exercise is that you keep the weights in front of you. You're not lifting back here with your arm by your ear, but rather your weights are here where you can see them in your peripheral vision, alternating right and left. We have about 45 more seconds left. Take this at your own pace. Right and left, alternating. Overhead presses. Now I have the palms of my hands are facing inward. And remember to hold those weights lightly, just tight enough so you don't drop them. But don't squeeze. Diaphragm is lifted. 10 more seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to do lateral side raises, which starts from the hips right here and lifts on the lateral plane of the body straight up to the side at shoulder height. If you look at me from the side, my weights are in alignment with my shoulders on the side of my body. So that's what you want to be doing. Lift right here and return from the hips to the shoulder height, or keep it smaller if you're here today. Just lift on 45 degrees. You don't need to do the full 90. Lifting up and return. I always joke about using geometry in fitness classes. We do a lot of things based on angles. So you thought you might never use that high school geometry? Ha ha ha. And lower. Lift and return. 30 more seconds right here. Keep the neck relaxed. Diaphragm lifted, and you're breathing, right? You are breathing. Lift and return. Lift and return. You're breathing at a normal rate and rhythm because we are lifting very light weights. You don't need to worry about exhale on the exertion and inhale on the release. Okay, I get that question frequently. If you're comfortable doing that and you prefer that, you can certainly do that, but I'm not training that way because we are just using light weights. And the most important aspect is that you're breathing. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I see that some of you already stopped because you were probably watching the clock and noticed that I went over time. And our last exercise is a combination move called an Arnold Press, and it's a biceps curl and an overhead press. Return to the shoulders and back down to the hips. So I start with my palms up, and when I reach my shoulders, I just kind of turn a little bit, and then as I press overhead, my palms are facing inward. And it just happens kind of naturally. I don't really think about it. But in case you were thinking about it, I wanted to let you know what's happening. Right to here, up overhead, and back, and return. Right here, up and down. Remember, whenever we do the biceps curls to the front like this, we want to make sure that our elbows are tight by the waist. So we're isolating the biceps muscle and not using anything else. And return. 30 more seconds. I think we'll have time for one more set. Maybe 2. We'll see. Return, 15 seconds. Up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who remembers the first exercise in this series? It's pull-ups under the chin, right? Yes, right here. Let's do 60 seconds. Pull it up, right here. Pull it up, right here. Nice. I love seeing you guys move with me. Oh, it's wonderful. 30 more seconds. And lift. And I hope you're smiling because this feels so good, right? 15 more seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's next? Alternating overhead presses. Yes, right here. Starting at the shoulder height and just press overhead right here. Right here, extending your arm, but remember to keep the weight forward within your peripheral vision. Well, the temperature really got warm here today, like I was talking about. We had a change in temperature of 40 degrees, and it was all the way up in the 80s yesterday. And it's humid this morning. We're supposed to be getting some rain today, and I already feel the humidity, and I think I'm drenched in sweat. And here we go. 10 more seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lateral side raises right here. And I want to remind you, as you're doing this exercise, from the hips to shoulder height, I want you to think about pressing your shoulders, your shoulder blades to the back, and feel your shoulder blades as they slide in toward your spine on this lift. So it's not just your shoulders that are lifting, but actually the muscles in your back are helping to work this exercise. And return. 30 more seconds. And lift. 15 more seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last exercise is the Arnold Press. Remember, that's a combination movement with a biceps curl and an overhead press. So we start right here, biceps, press, return, and down. Take this nice and slow so that you can focus on the muscles, right? Keep those elbows in nice and tight. Your diaphragm is lifted. And return. This is going to be our last exercise. Even though it is the second round, I'm going to have to bring your heart rate down and do a little bit of a cool down. 15 more seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's go ahead and put the weights down. And we'll do just a little bit of light cardio for our cool down. So the first one I want you to do is half jacks. It's right here. Very nice, gentle movement with the leg going out to the side and the arms right here beside you. You can lift them to shoulder height, but be sure to keep them below the shoulders. So even if you come up like this, it's okay. And we're just stepping to the side each time. This is a non-impact jumping jack, right? So it's just half of a jumping jack. No jumping, just one leg out at a time. And we keep the arms in, low, only doing them halfway as well. 30 more seconds. $15 more seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do curtsies. So that's just stepping behind and cross it. Some people call it skaters, but you're just stepping behind and on the diagonal with a little bit of a knee bend, right? So when you do this, you turn and you're facing the diagonal. So here's forward, step behind, forward, step behind. Now this is a great exercise for your hips. Works a little bit of the knees as well, but you don't have to go deep. What if you just stepped here like this and didn't really bend your knees? But if you are bending, your back heel is lifted and you try to center your weight as much as possible. So as you take that knee bend, your weight is centered. Let's keep it really small, even if you are bending your knees. Remember, we're cooling it down. So I don't want you to take this deep. You're going to feel that little bit of shift in your hips. Kind of testing the flexibility of your hips as you're doing this turn, right? Fifteen more seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do back leg lifts. That's just a straight leg lift to the back. So you try and keep yourself lifted as much as possible, and you have to squeeze with your buttocks muscles to get a little bit of a lift in the back, right? If your foot can just clear the floor, that's high enough. And make sure that your back is lifted and straight. We don't want like this, like collapsing in the back to try and lift, right? Everything is straight and strong. That lift is small so that as you do it, you really feel the tightening in those gluteal muscles, the muscles of your buttocks, your booty, whatever you want to call it, that backside, right here. The straight leg lifts to the back with a squeeze in the buttocks. And 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's march it out for a minute. Take that small, gentle march, but gradually open your legs a little bit wider, holding right here. Plant your feet and let's just move your body side to side. And as you go from one side to the other, allow your heel to come up off the floor on the leg that you're leaning away from. Okay? So my heel is up on this leg. Heel is up on that leg as I go side to side. Okay? Right here. Nice and easy. Low arms right here. They're going to in the opposite direction. Again, remember, this is a balance thing. Okay, and let's plant your feet. Plant your feet. And I want you to just go up and down ever so slightly. Straighten the knees, bend the knees slightly. Straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. 4 more. 3, 2, last one. And we're going to hold with a very slight bend. Just hold right there. And we're going to do our stretching. I got to get back here to the wall so you can see me. I have my toes pointed at 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock. And I have just a little bit of a squat here, just a little bit of a knee bend. And I'm going to reach out to the side, up overhead and all the way over, using this arm for support on my thigh. I keep my torso facing forward. We're not twisting into this stretch. Face forward. Your head is looking forward and your elbow is up over your ear. Reach to the side. Feel that stretch along here between your armpit and your hip, and reach side, up overhead and all the way to the other side. Let's reach out, up and over. Use this arm. I bend my arm and stick my elbow in my hip and use my whole forearm for support. You could also just use a straight arm and lean into it this way. Feel that stretching. Make sure you're facing forward and not twisting. And release. Let's inhale and exhale. Stay with me for a little bit of breath work, some positive affirmations, and then I'll share my closing screen. So let's begin to bring your awareness to your breath. Notice the rise and fall of your chest. If your body prompts you to take a deep breath and sigh, be sure you do that. Always listen to the promptings of your body. Mine says take a drink right now because I'm a bit dry. And I'm drinking just plain filtered water, not Gatorade or vitamin water or any of those other electrolyte products, just plain filtered water. Bringing your focus to your breath, notice when you inhale, you fill up your lungs from the bottom to the top. And as you exhale, you release the air from the top all the way to the bottom. And it happens naturally and automatically. But you can control it if you desire. You can slow down your breathing if you are feeling anxious. You can do counted breathing exercises to help with sleep. So there are ways that you can use breath control. But right now we're just kind of having a relaxation session and noticing our breath and using that as a springboard for some positive thoughts to take with us into the day. As you inhale, I want you to think about that air that you're bringing in this morning as a gorgeous, beautiful rose pink color. The color of maybe the most beautiful rose that you have seen. Just bring that beautiful color in with that air and think about how glorious and joyful that makes you feel. And as you exhale, release anything dark and gray that's depressing, that's stressful, that's causing you anxiety. Release that. Your do list for today, that argument you got into with someone yesterday, that neighbor that's disagreeable. Let go of all of those thoughts and just hold on to that glorious pink, joyful, glorious, filled with gratitude. And let's take some positive affirmations with us into today. I love my body, its strengths and its weaknesses. And I love the fitness journey that I'm on, which helps me recognize the strengths and weaknesses in my body. I appreciate and I am grateful for my body, even the strengths and weaknesses. As I work on my problems, I focus on them as I work on them, and then I release them. So maybe while I'm working out, I'm frustrated with that one hip that hurts or the side of my shoulder that's not moving as well as the other. While I'm in this fitness class, I think about that and I work on it gently, but then I let it go. I don't let it bother me throughout the day. I release it. Just like with other problems, when you work on them in the moment, you can focus on them and then let them go so that you can enjoy the rest of your day. I trust the intelligence within me. The intelligence within me is that prompting that tells me I need to modify this exercise, or maybe that it's time to challenge myself. That intelligence prompts me to take a deep breath and sigh from time to time, or to grab some water and drink. And I trust that intelligence, and I listen to those prompts of my body. And I'm thankful and grateful for them. Thank you for joining me today. Stay with me as I come up to the screen and share my closing slides.
Thank you, Stacy.
Stacy, I really didn't feel like being here today. And now I'm so glad I did because I feel a lot better.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that. I'm glad you did too. Thank you once again for joining me. Remember that the best way to thank any of the guides is to share your experiences with family, friends, neighbors, and your community. And if you're active on social media, be sure to use the hashtag #GetSetUp or @GetSetUp. And if you're not on social media, that's okay. You can email liz@getsetup.io and share your pictures, your stories, your feedback, anything that comes to mind that you would like her to know, or me or anyone else at Get Set Up to know about your experience. Look for some other classes to get you moving or in things that you might enjoy. There are some other related movement classes such as Ageless Grace, Get Moving by Line Dancing, and our yoga classes. My next class tomorrow morning is Balance and Flexibility, and it's a standing class, but we do use a chair. And then that follows with a 9:15 core training class. Be on the lookout for the email that you will receive from Get Set Up. It will contain some key takeaways from today's class, as well as highlight some other classes that might be of interest to you. And there will be a link which will provide you with the opportunity to give us some feedback about Get Set Up, the platform, the classes, and your instructors. Again, I ask you to please share the word, spread the word, come host an interest group. Just let us know what you might want to talk about and we'll help you with that. Suggest a different class you might like to see taught on Get Set Up. And remember, we do partner with assisted living, senior living centers, government, and other community organizations. And once again, you can always request a session recording and share ideas for new classes at help@getsetup.io. Once again, thank you for joining me today. Looks like we went over a little bit. I don't usually do that, but it was a great workout, right? So
Yes, it
thank you
was.
once again. Have a great day.
Bye.